audience wants to, they can also, so I'm test driving some of those things now, but I don't have any fancy intro for my games yet because it's still
work in progress.
You're artists. It's a work in progress,
yes,
and you're sensitive about your shit.
Yes. Now, Ricky, just so you know, now that all those questions that you wanted to ask Travis, you can no longer ask him because we are live.
Oh, yeah.
I told him about the job switch, which he already knew about, and then he was
I feel like you've been there for...
He was going to ask you about all the old stuff that you couldn't talk about before, and I'm like, I don't think he can do that either.
Not really.
Yeah, it's cool. Don't worry about it. All right. So do we still? I mean, you can't see us now, but like you could hear me fine, right? Like the audio.
Oh yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, you sound
okay.
fresh.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
And then phones muted. Everybody's phones are muted.
My phone is always muted.
Yeah, phone's muted.
It's always muted. Nice.
It is.
Okay. All right. Cool.
No one calls.
No, it's just it's all on vibrate. Like continuously.
Right. I
haven't heard my phone ring
ringtone in like 5 years. Like
I know. You remember when that used to be like the shit, right? You'd be like, "Yo, call me."
You know what's funny? Quick. I have
Big
a ringtone just for Dennis. Like he's the only one that has his own ringtone for me.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, that was awkward. Okay, I had
just a little bit.
I had the YouTube. No, sorry, I had the YouTube up, and it was feedbacking because it was playing you guys in loop. I keep it up now just in case because like we have had I don't know if you get these on Twitch, Travis, but do you ever get your hate speech bots
hate rated?
No,
really. We've gotten them twice in 38 weeks. Two hate speech bots. They're pretty colorful. They say a lot of fun things. But I'm getting faster at shutting that down.
Watching them.
Yeah.
He just types faster now. So
the trick is I have to have the YouTube up also so that because I can't do it here via StreamYard. So like I have to have the YouTube playing in the background.
What do you think of StreamYard?
I like it. I've been very tempted to just go full OBS. I've been tempted.
Yeah.
There's definitely limitations to StreamYard, but StreamYard's also clean. It's a very clean experience.
It's easy to bring buddies on.
Yeah, it's super easy to bring people on, right? Like, I mean, we just give you a link and there you go. But like, if we want overlays and stuff, like we can make those, we can. But the trick is like StreamYard has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 different views that it can show. And in order to have the overlay work correctly, you have to make an overlay for each of the 7 views. You know what I mean? And that would also depend on like if you wanted overlays for your actual friends, you would have to make a different overlay depending on how many friends you have on that show. You know what I mean? And so like so we just don't use overlays just because it's like but I know they make it nice and polished for sure.
I wouldn't mind trying taking a peek at Zencastr again. I know they added a video thing to them because having that audio rip is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're
thinking. What were you gonna say, Travis?
We're thinking about actually switching. Because we're gonna. I think we're gonna non-Twitch it.
Yeah. So that's my favorite thing about StreamYard is StreamYard. The version we pay for, which is the second to the highest version, we can stream to 3 different platforms at once simultaneously. Exactly. Yeah, and so we're doing YouTube. That's what we're doing. We're doing YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter right now. And then I can take StreamYard saves your videos. Like it saves up to like 50 gigs worth of stuff. So you can go in there, you can download the video or the audio whenever you want. So then I take it and I just take the audio and I throw it up on podcasts too, like so that people
exactly.
Yeah, so you just have a little bit more ownership of it, like like Twitch. I feel like it's weird because like Twitch like trashes your videos after a few weeks, like that's
they don't want
awkward.
Shit.
Yeah, they don't want old content on there, and that's kind of it makes me feel like not loved there, So
a lot of people are feeling that right now.
Yeah, but are you still you're liking the thing on Saturday you're doing?
Oh yeah.
That's a hard one for me to get to, but I know my friends have a hard time getting to this one too. So I feel you. Friday and Saturday nights or Friday and Saturdays are just weird, awkward times to check out.
Yeah, we're gonna change. We're actually gonna change your time. We just don't know what yet. To what?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fridays at 8.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to compete.
Yeah.
You know what was pretty awesome is the when we had Joel and Eric on, we had a good chunk of people watching. I know you were here in the chat too, but like
yeah,
that was a fun one.
Oh, talk about that soapbox.
That soapbox beat your record. That soapbox went to 2 a.m.
Yo,
dude,
it got intense.
Eventually, it was just me, Joel, and Frank because Eric and Ricky couldn't hang anymore.
Oh my god!
And so, like, yeah, it went long, but there was a lot of alcohol.
See, I was like straight. I was like, how do I just get into that? Because I would have totally did it.
I put my link. You just
got. I didn't realize.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize
well, it's there. Well,
in the future, in the future though, like as a rule, if you just drop the link and be like, "Yo, Travis, if you want to fall through afterwards, here's the link." Like I'd probably be down at least 50% of
it. Yeah. Well,
because it's just nerd shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the link's also in your freaking email.
So that's always the link then?
The patreon.com. Yeah, if you go to our Patreon, you just have to subscribe to have access to the it's we just do 3 simple tiers. We do a $1, $2, $3. And so the $3 tier gets you access to the soapbox on Friday nights. That's it.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, I do include it in your emails, and then I do include it now in the thank you email, because I realized all year long, I've been not letting people know. Like, I let people know who are watching, but I don't really like tell my guests because I always felt weird about it. But I'm like, my guests are the people that would want to participate in the most, So like, I've been less ashamed or less shy about that now.
Very true.
I do share it with them, so
okay,
you'll see.
I can backdoor you a link, Travis, if you want. Don't worry.
You could. Well, in fairness, I do that, but like, but just for the video that you're currently in, I'll send you a link to that video if you would do it, but you're not doing it tonight. But anyways, I think we're ready to go. Like, so I don't have anything to prep us on. I don't know. Are you drinking? You doing this sober? You doing this drunk? Whatever. I don't care. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I didn't come prepared. Sorry.
Can you not see me?
Oh, we can see you.
Oh, so you
Ricky and I can see you. Sorry.
Yes, okay. We can see you.
Then yes. Then I'm not sober.
Okay. Yes, we can see you.
Cheers.
Oh my God. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your night.
Indeed.
And I'm very happy to see you. It's been so long, man. Like, we really wanted you for Loki, and I know that didn't work out. But man, when I was telling Ricky the other day, I was like, it has been so long since we had Travis on the show, and I was like, it was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This picture that's on the screen right now, that's the episode 8, I think, of Falcon and Winter Soldier or whatever.
Yep.
That was when we're just on ending the first year of the pandemic, man.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Real.
Here we are.
Yeah. Round in the corner.
What are your plans for Eternals? Are you going to go to theaters for that one?
Oh yeah, most def. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I think we're gonna try to do the Alamo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Draft House in LA.
Is there more than one in LA, or is it just the one?
I just think it's the one.
I think this is the one. Yeah.
Oh no, the dome is the ArcLight, I think, right?
Yeah, dome is the ArcLight. Yeah, which is now AMC, I think.
Oh.
Ooh, awkward.
Did ArcLight go under?
ArcLight went out of business and got bought out by someone. I'm not sure.
Oh man, that sucks.
Whoa.
And I believe it's AMC.
Oh well. All right, Ricky. I'm actually excited to see what news you got. So we're gonna get this going soon because we let Ricky just go wild now with the news. He can just
why not?
We don't vet it. Nothing. Just
my God. I just looked at the promo pic and I'm like super red in that photo.
You are. You're probably drunk in that picture.
Oh my god.
Who knows?
You
Should
go.
we get going?
Hellboy.
Should we
Sure, why
get
not?
going, Ricky?
Yeah, let's start it.
Hellboy, yeah.
He does look like Hellboy.
Mm.
So remove us all first, Ricky, and then. Welcome to the Friday, October 8th, 2021 episode of Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. This is where we discuss the latest Marvel happenings across all media, as well as any other superpowered stories that grabbed our attention. My name is Dennis, and I'm actually a little, I think I'm a little relieved that we're getting a few weeks without new MCU stories. That doesn't mean I'm complaining. I'm just like, man, this has been a long, long year of that stuff. But that said, I'm still happy to assemble my Nerd Avengers every Friday. So let's get them out here. First, normally I would introduce Frank, but Frank's actually unable to join us live today. But we will keep an eye on the chat for him because I think he might be making an appearance there. But it's okay because I still have my co-pilot that started this wacky adventure of podcasting with me like 2 years ago, I think it was. It's Ricky.
Hello. It feels weird coming in second.
Yeah.
This is like Frank's spot.
Yeah, it is Frank's spot. It is, but that's because you're a producer, Ricky. And you gotta hit all the buttons. And stuff,
I do all the buttons.
Yeah, so you got more important duties you got to do. So Frank and I usually chat it up and get the audience super
Frank's
hyped and
gonna have
everything.
to fight me for this spot back. He's coming in second from now on.
So Frank is actually traveling. He's got his laptop. His laptop just didn't cut it for the tools that we're using here to stream to you guys. So he had to bow out, and he will be chatting with us probably via text. But that's the best his hardware can do right now. But we do have a special guest, a very special guest. I'm very excited to bring him back because he was actually supposed to be here for the season finale of Loki way back in August, I think that was. Yeah, and it just circumstances just didn't work out, so we couldn't get him for that one. But he wanted me to let you guys know that he's here for What If, and he's experienced both highs and lows watching that show this whole season, and he very much plans to share them all tonight. He also wanted me to introduce him as Black Travis. So here he is. He's muted also, so you're not even listening. You can't even hear him.
I know. I can't unmute him either.
You're muted, Travis. You got it.
There you go.
You're laughing. That's how you asked me. You asked me to introduce you that way.
I know.
Yeah. I'm gonna clip that and just the silence afterwards.
I know. That's awkward that you came in with silence because you're muted. And it's like, oh, my joke.
Black Travis.
Yeah. Welcome back, man.
Thank you. I love it. I love it. It just
it's weird because I think this is actually only your second time on this show. Even though
I
feel like
is it?
I feel like
it is.
I think so.
He did the Mandalorian one with us for sure.
Yeah.
But yes. I don't think we got Travis for WandaVision. And I think we only got him for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and we very much intended to have him come back more. But yeah, it just didn't work out. So it just feels weird. It feels weird, I think, because you and I chat pretty much almost weekly about these shows on Messenger and stuff. Mm-hmm, and so I feel like you're always in spirit here with us.
He's living in the chat sometimes. We see him pop up.
No doubt.
Yeah, we see you lurking in the
trolling.
Chats too. Just like Eric is right there. I see Eric.
Hating. Oh no.
He's here. He's been joining us for a few weeks. He's been joining for a few weeks. He's pretty happy. Nice. He's pretty happy to see you here.
Yes.
Let me get some formalities out of the way really quick so we can just shoot the stuff. I'm trying to be cool about waiting about like 15 minutes before I just start dropping bombs. But yeah, we've got a fun show planned. We're excited to talk about the season 1 finale of not Loki. What if?
We can talk about that too.
Yeah, we could talk about the season finale of Loki since we never got to with you too. But before we do, we have some news and rumors to discuss and a bit of trivia to play. Speaking of which, this is also a chance for you, the audience, to pick our brains with any marvelous trivia or points of confusion that you may have about the show that you watched today or this week, whatever. We'll be checking the comments, as we already showed, throughout the show. And for those that can't get enough of us, you can visit patreon.com/denxmedia immediately after this broadcast ends for our live post show, The Soapbox, where we wind down and talk about stuff we didn't get to in the first 90 minutes. We talk a lot, dude. Sometimes it goes too long. I think Eric can attest to that. It went. Eric dipped out around like 1 a.m, but
it went too long that night.
It did, but it was fun. But yeah, no, we just go on that show afterwards and just talk about whatever. It's like, this, we try to keep it focused to let's stay mostly Marvel. That's hence the name. But when it gets to the soapbox, the sky's the limit.
Anything goes.
Mm-hmm. Anything goes. Anything. Just breaking NDAs left and right all over.
No doubt.
I'm kidding. But yeah, what do you got going on, Travis?
What I got going on? I
like your shirt. I like that shirt.
Thank you. Felt like I had to represent. Just changed jobs recently. Now I'm the head of third-party production at Facebook Oculus.
Nice.
So doing big.
Letting you do it.
No, what? All I'm saying. I can't talk about the stuff I'm doing. I can tell you what my title is. I mean, you can go to LinkedIn and find out that much information, so that's not top secret, but
congratulations.
And yeah. And that's, it's been amazing. Just being part of something that huge, and having that effect is good for me. So cool. I got that going on. And on right now on Saturdays on Twitch, I do a show called Techn00bians, and it's just a show about technology, games, and how to be BIPOC.
And I believe that's the correct link for it right there, right?
Yep.
The Twitch
sure
TV /Geekish Network. Check it out. Yep. That's cool. Yeah. So I would. I mean, you gave me a pre-scripted introduction, but normally, if you hadn't, I would have introduced you as fellow podcaster from the Techn00bians, Travis. But you're like, I want to be called Black Travis, and I was like, all right, I'll do that.
That's right.
I'll do the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
There's Black Adam. Oh, I'm sorry, it's DC.
Oh,
it's fine. There's
Black Panther.
Hey man, I'm just putting this out there. Currently,
Panther.
for the year of 2021, the Suicide Squad is my favorite superhero movie.
What?
Whoa!
I haven't seen a better superhero movie since the Suicide Squad.
You know what?
This year.
I like Shang-Chi a lot.
I'd say, you know what though? That's wow. I don't know which one I like better.
You know what? I like Shang-Chi because it's a tighter movie. I think the Suicide Squad was
Shang-Chi is not a tighter movie.
Probably 30 minutes too long.
I'm gonna try not to spoil because I understand that I still have audience members that are still concerned about going back to theaters. Well, yeah, it's the whole situation has made it really weird for people going to theaters, right? Because I totally respect anybody that hasn't gone to see that movie yet, because you are taking a risk when you do it. So I get it, and so I've been trying to be respectful for the last month or so about not spoiling that here. We usually spoil it during the soapbox, left and right. But yeah, I feel like my biggest problem with that movie is the third act is just all over the place and muddy. And it's really muddy, and it loses focus on the main character and his journey. And I think, you end up with this giant CG fight that doesn't have there's no context to it set up throughout the whole movie. That's the best I can do without spoiling. Whereas I feel like Suicide Squad, there is a giant CG battle that takes place at the end of the movie, but the context is there throughout the whole movie. You know what I mean? Like it's presented, it's part of the story, so you're not caught off guard and you're not like, oh, why are we following this fight now instead of this fight? You know, so I feel Suicide Squad was the tighter movie. It was.
I'll commend Suicide Squad for being a good movie, a good R-rated superhero movie.
I feel like that's not. You don't need to qualify it with the R-rated.
I think that's kind of discounting it a little. Though,
I do. I think that's discounting
it. Because if you think of everything that Gunn had to do,
yeah,
right, in that movie, right, like it's just now that I think about it, Dennis, you're right. Like, yeah. Yes, I did say that, Dennis. You're right. That Suicide Squad.
I've got that recorded now too.
That Suicide Squad was just it was so much more of a film. I mean, it just was. I mean, and like it or not, okay. Now these origin stories, to a large degree, are sort of formulaic at Marvel.
Yeah,
this one was better. This one was better
than
okay.
Starro. But yes. check out Seacow Soda's comment right there. I love it. Starro trumps all. Also, Polka Dot Man's mom. She's right.
Say word. Right. Say word.
Those were
they found it's an interesting mix. Because you have a James Gunn with the chip on his shoulder, with a property that he can that kind of best showcases his
do
talent.
Whatever,
and then you give him that R rating to push it just over the edge a little bit. So there's a lot of right that went into that movie.
I feel like I've seen Travis post that on social media, but that's what happens when you let a creator just run wild with a vision. You know what I mean? Like you let him a creator with a clear vision run wild with.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's important. That's important to make.
Zack Snyder had a vision.
Yeah, he did. And one day we'll discern what it was. We'll figure it out one day. Anyways, we're not here to bash. I just wanted to put that out there and say, like, it's okay to talk about DC sometimes, because hey, I love some of the stuff they put out. Like, I love it sometimes more than the Marvel stuff that gets put out there. I'm here for all of it, man. I'm here for all of it. But yeah, right now, that's the one to beat, Suicide Squad this year.
But, and this is on the realest tip. After coming out of Shang-Chi, I was thinking to myself, I just know my Asian friends got the same feeling that I had walking out of Black Panther, and damn it, that's awesome.
Yeah, except Black Panther was a better movie, though.
I understand, but it's the same high. It's like being seen on a superhero level.
You can't
you know what I'm saying?
You seeing that kind of happiness.
And that's just dope.
This is Eric's opinion of Suicide Squad. I don't think he's a John Cena fan, but it's cool.
I wasn't a John Cena fan for a long time.
He's great.
I am now.
I think he's awesome, man.
Yeah. Ricky, I think we should probably move this along. Let's get to some news right now.
Let's do it. Alrighty, since we're on the movie talk, I'll mix up the news a little bit and keep the conversation going. Venom 2 is on track to surpass Shang-Chi in the box office, and I just wanted to get you guys' take on that, because it presents an interesting little thing. Like, so I'm assuming Spider-Man is probably going to be the highest grossing movie of this year. Do you think that's a safe bet?
No, I don't know. Like, it depends. Well, Dune's getting released at home also, so that's out of the question.
Yeah.
So is The Matrix. So the trick with Spider-Man is it's only going to have 2 weeks to count towards this year.
It's Spider-Man, though.
Yeah, but it's only going to count. It's only going to have 2 weeks this year, and then we're in 2022. Oh, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have the potential to make as much as Black Widow or Shang-Chi or the Eternals does, because it's got a limit. It's only because of the sheer date. That's all. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying Spider-Man won't make more opening week than Shang-Chi or the others will. But I'm saying there's no way Shang-Chi or Spider-Man can make more this year than the other movies.
Here's where I'm getting at is we're gonna probably come into a situation where Sony will have the top 2 movies of the year over a Marvel, over a DC, and that's kind of an interesting little nugget right there, you know?
Well, no, but that's not necessarily true, because you're just looking at box office right now. You're looking at short term, and we still haven't seen how much money Shang-Chi is going to make when it's available to buy digitally at home. You know what I mean? Like
this is
versus
just where
Venom.
where Venom's tracking right now.
Venom's tracking right now, yes. And so I will point this out because a friend of mine, Zach, if you're watching, I love this quote that you did. So everybody knows that Venom, the end of Venom, is a post-credit scene that's tying this into very loosely into the MCU. I don't think that's a spoiler. I haven't seen the movie, and I know that they very much want the whole world to know that they are doing something to tie Venom into Spider-Man at some point.
Yeah.
And so my friend Zach was on social media the other day, and he was reminding us video game fanatics about. Travis, do you remember Zone of the Enders?
Of course.
Konami. It was a weird new IP that they created. Probably wouldn't have done well, but they decided to pack in a demo for a little game known as Metal Gear Solid 2. And Zone of the Enders, that game on PlayStation 2 sold like gangbusters.
It's the Crackdown situation.
Crackdown came sold like gangbusters. Like Zach said, when I went to see Venom 2, I felt like I was buying Zone of the Enders all over again.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't. Yo, that's profound, dog. It is profound because I feel the same way, except I didn't even do that. I just said, you know what? I'm just going to read the spoiler. And I can't believe that I did that, right? I mean, that's how much I just don't really care about Venom.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'll totally watch it for free when it comes out. But like, even the spoiler that I read, I was like, ugh, that's how you did it? That's
this past gross. Weekend, and it was very much, they just ripped the Band-Aid and did the thing to make him go in that universe. And it's super...
But ripped a Band-Aid before the wound had healed is what I hear from the description.
Yes.
What I just feel like a lot of people said if you didn't like Venom, you won't like Venom 2, right? And I think that's more or less true. If you look at the scores, though, some of the mainstream critics liked Venom 2 a little more. I just feel like, for me, I can't get over Venom's voice. It sounds too slapsticky for me.
Same,
right?
I agree with that.
And I want to be afraid of Venom, right? And I'm just not. I'm, he's sort of like Stifler.
Well, if Venom's coming into the MCU, well, he's coming to the MCU. That's a given.
No, he's not. He's not coming. He's not coming to the MCU. He's coming into Spider-Man movies.
I'm gonna make a safe say and say that Feige's gonna have a bigger hand in whatever Venom's gonna appear in next.
I don't think so.
I think with that guidance, his character will change for the better.
I think that's all up in the air because the Spider-Man contracts are up for renegotiation right now too. So Sony could just pull the plug and say, we don't need to be in the MCU anymore because we got our own little thing. That could be a bad move. I'm not saying that's a smart move, but like, I just don't.
It's a bad move.
I'm not thrilled about their little universe. They have a new name for it. I forget what it's called. It's a lot better than Spumoni or whatever it was before. It's Spunky or whatever.
Spider-Man, Sony, or whatever. Yeah,
it's Spunk. Yeah, it was like Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel Characters was what the original acronym was, and people were like, I don't want to say that. It's Spunk.
Ever.
Yeah, but now it's like
cause ill.
Yeah, but now it's like Spider-Man universe of characters or something like that. I don't remember.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I guess it'll become a little bit clearer once we get like a Spider-Man 3 later this year and Morbius whenever that comes out next year. See what direction they're going.
It's a bad direction.
I'm more interested in that. Far more interested in Morbius than I am in Venom.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
There's the Spider-Man in that trailer.
That it's a low bar though. It's a really low bar. But yeah, yes.
Very true.
What else you got? What else you got, Ricky?
All right, on the Hollywood front, 2 new Disney Plus shows are in the works. Actually, another one kind of got rumored today, but Miss Agatha Harkness is going to, or is rumored to be having a appearance.
I believe Catherine Hahn's like in talks to have her own show.
Oh yeah, sorry, have her own show.
Yeah, on Disney
and then
Plus.
Also a 10 Rings show as well.
Yeah. I'm feeling the 10 Ring one, but the Agatha one, isn't she in her own little private hell there? Like what?
Yeah, who knows? There is a third one that was announced, I think, early in the last weekend.
Monica Rambeau show.
Okay, there's a fourth one. There's a fourth one that's supposedly rumored. There's a guy that he's a Hollywood insider that like his Patreon like blows up. Like every entertainment news outlet like pays for his Patreon post because his accuracy
is Charles Murphy dude.
It's Daniel Richman. But Daniel Richman leaked last weekend that a Daredevil series is definitely in the works for Disney Plus, and they will be pulling in because supposedly we're going to get Kingpin and Echo in Hawkeye, and then Echo's getting her own show who might bring in other characters from the Daredevil universe. So I think it's all going to culminate in a Daredevil series.
That's what I read is that the Echo show is like a backdoor to the Daredevil show.
Right.
Which I'm not familiar with Echo, but from my understanding is you can't have Echo without Daredevil.
It's Echo without Daredevil is like having Venom without Spider-Man. But less so. And I think they're gonna do it in a way that still respects Daredevil when they introduce her. Because technically Echo is the stepdaughter of Kingpin. Or like adopted daughter. He basically adopts this girl and like trains her to beat the crap out of Daredevil. Like that's her whole.
Yeah, I remember that part.
That's her whole point. It's pretty cool. So yeah, a lot of shows. This is not surprising though. I bring them. I hope we still manage to just do one a week because I don't want to be talking about multiple shows every week. That's too much.
I'm wondering, as the MCU just keeps getting like more and more just crowded, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much of this is a house of cards, or how much of this is just very solid sort of world building, right? Because it's getting to the point now where you've really got to be into the MCU now, because if you're not like into MCU, you're missing, I don't know, 30% of the fun.
At least 30% of the fun, for sure. Yeah.
At least, right? Yeah. And I'm just and so you start wondering like, where's the on ramp?
Yeah.
Right. Like,
well, I mean, the most awkward part about it too, and I know Disney wants to do something about it, but like I would say the on ramp is Disney Plus. Like they made it. They organized it. Yeah. They organized it so beautifully, right? They're like, here, you can catch up. You're in a pandemic. Just watch all this stuff right now. And we even organized it by phase. But man, it kills me so much. Like we have a mutual friend, Coker. And Coker one day, I think last year, or maybe at the beginning of this year, he hit me up because he's like, you guys have inspired me. I'm gonna watch the whole MCU from beginning to end. I'm watching them on Disney Plus, and I'm like, ooh, that's awkward because they don't have the Hulk or the Spider-Man movies. And he's like, what? And he just like wanted to quit at first because he got all mad, And and it's really awkward that they have almost everything except those 3. And and then there'll be another Spider-Man movie
in
that
the
they
next
won't have there
Sony
too.
deal. They get the Spider-Man movies on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yeah, but who knows if they're ever going to get that Ed Norton Hulk movie there. But I mean, that's the one movie I would say of all the movies, that's the one you can easily miss and still know what's going on most of the time.
What If.
Yeah, just watch the What If. It was pretty good. You get the point. Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I guess they're trying to partition it, right, with calling everything from the past 10 years Infinity Saga. So ideally you can just jump in wherever they delineate the start of this saga, right?
In theory. Like I agree with you, Travis, though. I say it a lot on this show, and I've said it a lot to Ricky and Frank, but and all my friends. I said that, like, for me, like, I still love these. I still love all of it. I love it. I love it enough to do a podcast about it every week, right? But I can't be as invested in the MCU anymore after Infinity War. Infinity War was the last time that I could fully invest, and here's why. Because no matter what happens after Infinity War, the events of Infinity War make it so that it's impossible for this thing to maintain the level of consistency that it did before Infinity War. Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
And it's true. Like, we've had to make a lot of concessions since Infinity War. We have to accept certain things, like even Endgame. You have to accept that the world was kind of okay for 5 years. Like after that blip, like where I've been watching, like Y the Last Man, or you watch Walking Dead, watch any other apocalyptic show, and the world does not function okay at all. But the MCU is fine. Like it's fine. And so there's a lot of little things, and like every single movie that gets added to it, or every show that gets added to it, it does become more and more of a house of cards. And I'm down to watch all of it, and I'm down to watch it until it comes crashing down for sure. And even after, I'll keep watching it. But I don't have the same reverence that I did for everything pre-Infinity War. Infinity War is where the buck stops for me. Like that's the last one that I can say I'm fully invested in everything that happens here. Don't get me wrong. I love Endgame. Great movie. Really fun. But like, you just have to accept a lot more contrivances and stuff from that point on. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it's just one of those things that, this reminds me of a massively multiplayer game, right? Where everyone's like really high level. And then you just wonder after a while, like when everyone's like 200th level, like, where are these first level people coming from now? And just the daunting task of actually having to catch up. Wow. I mean, like seriously, like wow.
Eventually there'll just be like a chip that you could plug into the back of somebody's neck and just like upload the first 25 Marvel movies.
I mean, that's why, to relate it to Star Wars, like I keep trying to get back to start the Clone Wars basically, and like I just can't. It's so daunting to, what is it, 7 seasons?
Yeah.
It's totally worth it though. It's totally worth it.
The Clone Wars is worth it. The Clone Wars is worth it. Other things have not been for me. So it's kind of hit or miss, that universe too.
Very true.
Very true. But yeah. Hey, you got any more news, Ricky? Because we got to talk about What If soon. At some point.
Yeah. One little bit of last minute news. The Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy game, their track list just got revealed. So they're going to be doing licensed music like they, I guess, inspired the movie, basically.
Yeah. That game's trying so hard to be the movie without being the movie. It's so weird.
They couldn't pay for that. Chris Pratt.
Yeah, they couldn't pay for those likenesses, but they're like, we're still going to do everything the way the movies do. No, you're not, because it's not James Gunn. It's not. It's okay. It's okay.
Some highlights on this list are White Wedding, We Built This City,
The Idol.
Wake Me Up Before You Go. We got some Take On Me.
Of course.
Let's see.
These feel a little cliche. It's a little cliche.
Isn't that the whole point, though?
Yeah, I guess it is. I just like, you know, I need it in context. I need it in context before I can fully judge. I need to see how it plays into the story.
Final countdown.
Because Gunn, when he's making his movie, he plays the whole thing. Yeah, final countdown. That should be entertaining. I did pre-order the game this week. I finally caved and I finally did it because I was like, I kind of want a single player game that's just nerdy and I could just, you know, veg out on for a little while. Avengers burned me pretty bad for a long time.
Everyone's pissed at that game right now because they're doing paid level booster, basically level boosting. When they said they weren't going to do that.
Yeah,
as a cat who worked with you at PlayStation, Dennis, like the fact that you even bought Avengers, you should have been able to tell from the gameplay video that game was nothing.
Dude, the single player game is good.
Did.
The single player is good. Like, it's really good.
That's a good, tight story.
It is a good story. And like the improvements on it from the E3 demo, like I didn't want to buy it from the E3 demo. It was horrible then. But they made a lot of improvements visually. Like it looked a lot better when you got the game in your hands. But like the problem is there's no end game that is satisfying at all to that game. Like
I know is
the 5 hours is good.
I died more playing as the Hulk than anyone, and I said, "How is this even possible?"
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
He doesn't die. He just gets tired.
Yeah. And we got some toy news really quick, Ricky.
We got some toy news.
Just my own personal crack.
Indeed.
It's a Marvel Legends roundup. So this is a special one that got revealed by Unparalleled Universe. He's a YouTuber. Hasbro's been really cool lately. They've been actually sending prototype figures to YouTubers to have them surprise announce them. And so this one is really cool because it's celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Marvel Legends line. I've been collecting this toy line for 20 years now. And so it started
later.
It's 20,000. Is that what you decided it was? Who knows? Maybe it is. But the line originally started with Toy Biz, and Toy Biz was famous because they would pack this thing in with a comic book, a display stand, a bunch of accessories, and super articulation and stuff.
A package.
And you got a whole thing in a big clamshell, like just all kinds of stuff, And so ever since then, people have been really bummed since Hasbro took over the license because they downsized everything. So they just you get the figure and you get some accessories and that's about it. So this is Hasbro trying to milk the fans for that Toy Biz nostalgia, and they're packing in an anniversary Captain America with 2 heads, classic look. I mean, I think he looks amazing. He does look really cool. And it comes with a diorama that's inspired by the diorama that we got back in the day, 20 years ago, with the first Marvel Legend.
Well, you got the actual window piece, it was a physical object, right?
Oh, and the tank.
Yeah,
he came with a diorama tank and that building. So that whole carded painting is actually an exact recreation of the physical diorama that came.
So now you got a picture
back in the day.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
So it's cool. But yeah, I think people will be excited, and if they do an entire celebration of that original line, then people can also expect an Iron Man. It was Iron Man, Toad, and Ricky. I told you who the 4th one was. And I can't
was it a Hulk?
Yes, thank you. It was Hulk. So we might see 3 more characters, which that'll be cool. And then Ricky surprised me with this one. I didn't even know about this today. This just got announced today that later next year, there will be a Target exclusive new version, which kind of spoils today's episode of What If. But we'll get into that more.
It was in Lego form for a while.
No, not really.
I mean, she's not like this in the last time we saw her.
Yeah, but she's in What If. She's in the first episode.
No. I'm saying this look. This is her Winter Soldier outfit.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the blue stealth outfit that is from the new episode of What If.
Well, you don't know if there's a Winter Soldier in that universe.
Well, I'm seeing Winter Soldier movie is what I mean.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a minute. But before we spoil that, I mean, I do have a little game if you guys want to play it. Do you guys want to play a little?
Why not?
Let's do it.
Why not?
Quick? All right, I don't have a fancy intro for it, but I'm calling this one Power Pick because I'm really bad at naming my games too. So here we go.
All right.
This is a game where I get to show you guys 2 characters on the screen, and a power is listed down at the bottom. In this picture, it's Egghead and Gold Balls, and the power is produces infertile eggs on command. And I need you guys to
so
tell
specific.
me. Hey man, I just picked the weirdest powers I could find out of Marvel characters, and I want you to guess
like
which one does this power match? And the audience is very welcome to join in.
It's a fake out because Eggman's just a smart dude, right? It has to be Gold Balls.
Travis, what do you think?
Gold Balls.
You guys are
correct. Yeah.
He's actually since changed his name to Egg, but I felt like that would have been just giving it away.
Why,
if I
like,
put his
name.
Still on the nose.
Does something fertilize the eggs? Like what? I don't.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy story in the House of X-Men comics, because this character has actually existed for many years in the comics, and all he did was shoot gold balls all over the place. And it wasn't until a story that came out last year, or no, maybe it was 2019, mm-hmm. which these X-Men kind of found out, like there was like a collective of like 5 X-Men that had very specific powers, and they figured out how to fertilize those eggs and recreate perfect clones of dead X-Men. And so, yeah, somebody figured out you could just inseminate Gold Balls eggs, and there you go.
Like the first guy to milk a cow. Like, how'd you learn that trick?
Yeah, somebody had to do it, right? That's a good one. All right, guys. Next up, we got Overdrive and Big Wheel. What do you think? The power is they can alter the form and appearance of any vehicle through touch.
Overdrive.
Big Wheel, because damn it, I love big wheels. How about that?
He's green like a big wheel too, right?
Oh, but the green machine.
Yeah, the green machine.
That was the bomb. But I'm going with Big Wheel.
Ricky's 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It is.
I've
actually
seen enough
Overdrive.
Michael Bay Transformer movies to know that guy looks like he
Maximum Overdrive.
He does some good stuff.
Big Wheel literally just drives a giant wheel. That's his power. Fun fact, though, at some point in the comics, Overdrive hijacks Big Wheel's vehicle.
Uh-oh.
And,
hijinks and
Big Wheel stuff with it. Hold on a second. I'm going to... Whoa, we just lost Ricky. I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm going to keep moving on because my audio is just popping out for a second. We're having technical difficulties, but I'm pretty sure you guys can still hear me. And
I can definitely hear you.
Travis, I can't hear you at the moment, but I'm gonna move on to the next one to let you sit on it for a minute while Ricky comes back. And there we go.
Back in the flash. There he is.
Wasn't Zeitgeist the dude in Deadpool? Deadpool 2?
And
I think so.
Yeah. He spit.
Where's my people?
Shoot, it was a Skarsgård. I can't remember his name.
I'm sorry,
Alexander.
I got sound issues going on. I'll be right back. One sec. Alexander
Skarsgård. No,
yep, Skarsgård.
It's Tarzan though, right? He's the Pennywise dude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say
no, not the Pennywise dude. It's homeboy from True Blood.
But he's not an X-Men or in Deadpool, is he? I think they're both. I'm pretty sure they're both.
I think it is. Yeah, I know. Are they like the Baldwins or something? Right? It's like it's like, are you guys related?
Are you guys good? No. Are the Baldwins related? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
They are. Just like Sheen and Estevez are the same family.
Blow my mind here.
I'm telling you. That's what I do.
Technical difficulties. I don't even know what you.
We're just talking about the Baldwins
and the Estevezes.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Back to what I was showing you, which was these guys. What do you guys think? Anarchist and Zeitgeist. Their power that I have written down is produces corrosive acid.
Zeitgeist. I remember that mask from Deadpool, and his name was Zeitgeist. So I'm gonna say Zeitgeist.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm sorry to say this. You're only half right. It's both of them.
You got two spitting X-Men? That's some lazy writing right there.
Not only that, they are actually both. They're both on the same team. Anarchist, you're right. Zeitgeist vomits corrosive acid. Anarchist actually sweats corrosive acid and can project that. So
power is way lamer.
So, ladies and gentlemen, woven in X-23.
Yeah, exactly. The two of them actually get into competitions to try and outstyle each other for how they use their powers. So there you go. But that was some fun trivia. I mean, I can't tell Ricky or Travis.
Sweating. Corrosive acid.
Like sweating. But
I don't know how you can force yourself to sweat like instant on command without like doing anything physical.
Do you guys? So here's the question:
what does that do to deodorant?
I don't know. Probably bad things. Do you guys want more of these, or do you want to go on to what if?
What else you got?
Yeah,
I got more.
Let me see. A few more.
All right, fine. All right,
let's do a couple more.
Here you go. I couldn't help but bring him back. Orb we featured last week, but I'm pretty certain nobody actually knows what Orb's power is from showing him last week. So Orb and Ruby Thursday. Power, organic circuitry head made of malleable plastic that can extrude tentacles.
I like Ruby Tuesdays, the restaurant, so I'm gonna go to Ruby Thursdays.
I'm on a Ruby tip too, just because I could appreciate like a nice dessert right about now.
Well, your logic is questionable, but your ultimate answer is correct. That is correct. It is Ruby Thursday.
Why is she called Ruby Thursday?
Is she like, we're not
because she can bring you these apps so fast.
Yeah, we're not doing that. I think Thursday
the artist was just like,
and probably endless fries.
Like the question, that question's ridiculous because like, why is anybody called anything in these comic books? I mean, come on.
That's true.
But her real name is like Rubinstein Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Of course it is. Of course.
Yes. And then I got one last one for you guys. Here you go.
Okay.
Spider-Woman and Mandrill. Power secretes mind-manipulating pheromones.
That's Spider-Woman, right? I feel like that's why they draw her like super sexy all the time.
Is that why they draw her super sexy all the time?
I mean, that's one of the reasons.
Is that why?
Yeah. It's so you buy a comic. That's why they draw super sexy.
That's the correct answer.
I'm gonna go with Mandrill.
I hope.
All right. Mandrill. You guys are split down the middle, and you're both right. It's both of them.
Where does the pheromones secrete from?
We're not going to talk about that. That's kind of gross. But yeah, there you go.
From the eyebrows. From the eyebrows.
You did pretty good. I did trick you a little bit with two of those. I just wanted to show that there's so much redundancy sometimes when it comes to powers. Obviously, I could have done easier ones like Miss Marvel and Mr. Fantastic, same power.
Olivia Wilde is on tap to direct that Spider-Woman movie. Who's your? I think the rumors floating around is what I can't totally blanked out her name.
Jessica Tandy.
No, Ray from
Jessica Tandy. Let's just get an old woman.
That's your pick. That's your pick.
That'd be
How about you, Travis?
No, I don't care. At this point, I don't mind unknowns. I don't mind unknowns.
And I know this is probably wrong to say, but like every time I think of Spider-Woman, that's all. I don't even really know her powers. I'm just like, she's hot, full on hot, right? Just so much so that I thought that's what her powers were.
Audio just going again. Damn it! I'll be right back. But keep going, Ricky, and head over to the spotlight. Do it.
Yeah, just. Oh, Spider-Woman.
I always thought she was like an analog for Spider-Man, and yeah, I just never looked up her powers.
Exactly, right? Like her imagery was always like, look, I'm hot. Look, I'm hot. Look, I'm hot. And then they had that controversy about,
there was her
post up that one time.
Pose,
yeah, and I saw everybody's point there. I was like,
there's
yeah,
a good
no
little
one
bit on. I think it's. I forgot the name of the documentary on Disney Plus, but it's a Marvel documentary where they kind of deal with a lot of the social issues that the comics have tackled, and they bring up that specific of like how she's just been a sex symbol for so long that you kind of lose what makes her cool.
Right. Now, all that being said, I could see. Although
I'm back.
Be a little.
I'm plugged in. My wireless headphones were just being weird on me, so I just plugged them in.
So I would say my answer to that would be Jennifer Garner.
You guys are still doing this? You're still talking about
this?
Hey,
man.
Yeah.
All right.
He asked me like who I think could be a good Spider-Woman, and
she can get her superhero redemption, a little back at you, Ben Affleck, and
I don't want Jennifer Garner.
She ran out of Capital One money, so
you guys want to
talk about your wallet? The superpower, partner.
You want to talk about What If?
Yeah.
Let's talk about What If.
Hit the button, Ricky. I truly enjoy talking about anything nerdy with Travis, but I do want to make sure that we give time on this show to talk about the thing that Travis has been talking to me about this whole last 9 weeks, and it's been pretty fun. And I was super excited to have you here, Travis, because when this show started 9 weeks ago, you were hating, man.
I was.
So, spoiler warning, not just for this episode of What If, but possibly spoiler warning for the whole damn season, because Travis is probably going to lay it on us like how the whole thing played out and how I'm assuming at some point it changed gears and got him on board with this show. So before we get into like all the specifics of the episode, just a quick recap. This week's episode was called What If the Watcher Broke His Oath, which I thought was the most redundant name you could ever have for a What If episode, because we've been saying that for 9 weeks. That's all the Watcher ever does, bro. He's
bad at his job.
He's very, very bad at his job.
I was slightly disappointed because I'm not too familiar with when the Watcher breaks his oath, like what he actually does. And I had thought he would be like down there duking it out with them.
Well, he did last week.
I want to see him again. Like he could have assisted a little bit in this one.
But he did. He 100% assisted because he did. He orchestrated the whole thing.
He was doing he was doing portals, but
he orchestrated it all. Like everything.
He was the Professor X.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to see Professor X duking it out. That's weird.
Yeah,
that's not his. Yeah. That's why he went and chose the people he chose, so that he didn't have to do that.
So it's really funny, and I do want to let Travis talk about this one a lot. But I thought it was funny because I try to watch this show on Wednesday mornings. It's kind of like my wife and I our Wednesday morning breakfast show. So we have breakfast, and then she goes and walks the dogs. But Wednesday this time around, she was kind of in a rush to get out the door, so she only watched like the first 10 minutes where the Watcher had kind of collected the whole Guardians of the Multiverse, right? Which we had all predicted for a while. Like I had even kind of tried not so subtly to hint that to Travis like 9 weeks ago that
I saw the Hyundai commercial.
Yeah, we saw the Hyundai commercial. We knew it was coming, right? We knew there was gonna be a bunch of Ultrons getting fought. But when my wife had to leave early, it was really funny because like when she got back, I was like, I know her tastes, and I don't mean this to sound like it wasn't a cool spectacle, but knowing her taste, I said to her, I was like, you didn't miss anything. It was just a giant spectacle of a fight. And she's like, yeah, that's pretty much what I thought it was going to be. And it's like, then she said, that's pretty true about every Marvel story ever, like every movie or show. Like you can kind of miss the last part of it, and like if you're not there for the action, is what I mean to say. If you're not there for the action, you pretty much get the whole story without that last bit. And it's true. That's coming from the perspective of somebody who's didn't grow up with these comics. For us, for people who like grew up with the comics, I live for the last episode. You know what I mean? I live for all of that. Like, but I totally respect her opinion, which is totally valid. Which is, it's just 20 minutes of just giant, fluff. It's fluff.
Yeah.
It's magical fluff. But But Travis, what do you think about the fluff?
It's funny because I actually wanted to bring I wanted to talk about the fluff. That I think it was you who brought this up, and I'm not sure whether or not it was in the episode that I was in, or whether or not it was the episode I was watching actually, where you said it's the episode where the toys just clash against one another.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it blew my mind. I was like, yo, Dennis, that's exactly it, right? That's why it's appealing to us, is because we all bashed our toys together like that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
We're just, and all that pew pew pew, boom boom boom, like that's, come on, man. That's like, now it's like the big budget version of that, right? and that's what we live for. It's the pew pew pew,
yeah.
And someone goes flying, and you're throwing your toys across the room. That's what you live for. So all that to say, this gave me the nerdwood. You know what I'm saying? Because as I saw it go down, the one thing I was thinking was, how hard this would be to do this in live action, like, and they just, you could, but man, it would be expensive, and and they're giving it to us on a weekly basis like this, and so just that part of this made me go, I'm down to see this on a weekly basis for as long as they want to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like microdosing.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to take it there.
I've never done. Sure. But you're getting your fix every week.
I think you're getting a good fix, though. It's a really good fix, like, because like the other thing about What If, like, right, is all these episodes, they don't beat around the bush, man. They they go hard pretty fast. Think about where an episode starts versus where it ends, and it's pretty insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, and what got me, I guess, at the end of all of this, when all is said and done, was, as I said, if I think they said they were going to do another season. I'm not sure whether or not that was announced.
A second season is absolutely in the works.
Okay, so I think that, this scene in particular that we're seeing is probably going to be the last episode of every one of these, because the Watcher is sort of their way of shaking the Etch-a-Sketch all over again.
Yeah.
Right? So he sees it go down through the whole season, and then he goes, stop, it's hammer time. Thor comes out, says Vegas, and then it's all.
Oh my God. By the way, that was the best battle cry ever in all of Marvel Universe.
Sid, is he saying Vegas?
He said "Viva Las Vegas."
Yes.
And Ultron was just stumped by that. No, yes. I actually, that is interesting that you brought that up, because I was curious what you guys thought like the stories would be going forward. But before you answer that, I just wanted to make something clear, because I know like one of the coolest things about this episode was that it called back to all the other 8 episodes, right? Mm-hmm. But it actually called back to 9 episodes. There is a 9th episode that we didn't get because of COVID. COVID actually got in the way of the schedule. Now, this was the funny thing is, remember, Travis, you were one of the first people I was trying to schedule for this show.
That's true. That's true.
And when we first started talking about trying to figure out when to put you on the show, I told you, oh, I just read there's 10 episodes.
Yes.
And then a day or two later, I said, never mind, there's only 9.
Yep.
But my source was somewhere from Marvel went about the 10. So they changed the schedule on the fly. And what ended up happening is exactly the Gamora, Sakarian, Hulkbuster, Iron Man
episode. Yeah,
there was an episode of the two of them, and
it was.
They are referenced in the show. We got to meet them in this episode of What If.
Yeah, yeah.
They were to have their own episode of What If before this one.
So it was just they just ran out of time.
The production, like all I've read is that COVID impacted their schedule, and to stay on time, they just had to cut that episode for this season. But it is now already planned to actually air next season, probably early on. Because the truth is like that's the best part about What If, right? Is like as long if they want to do one episode every year that ties them all together as a cool cherry on top kind of situation or a bow, that's cool. I'm fine with that if they want to do that. But ultimately, I don't even care if they do that again. I don't need them to do that if the watcher wants to shake the extra sketch, like you said, every few years, that's cool too. Whatever. But like now that they've done it, they kind of set the precedent and they kind of have to do something. But I'm cool with every other episode that's not that, just being an isolated, fun 30-minute story that takes me to a whole other universe where I get to imagine things differently. So I don't even care that the Gamora and Tony Stark episode that we get next year actually plugs into before this. Whatever, who cares? It'll be a fun story anyways,
That was going to be my question to you guys, because I just looked it up, and the Watcher in the comics has broken his oath 337 times.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Can you imagine if you had like rules that you have to follow at your job and you broke 337 of them? Can you imagine that? Would you still have that?
The Watcher is Leroy Jenkins.
Dude, he's the worst. Yes, he's so bad at it. But I mean, like I went in knowing he was gonna.
He has to break it this season, right? That's a given. But I think I agree with you. Like I don't need him to see him break it again next season.
He's damn sure gonna do it.
Well, what about this, Travis? What if instead of him breaking it next season, what if we see the repercussions for him breaking it this season?
That would be awesome.
What if he gets in trouble next season by the other Watchers and they come and we get a whole episode of what if Watcher is put in timeout? What if that's the name of the episode?
What if the Watcher has to apply for unemployment?
Yeah, for sure.
Doubt.
Like
no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. I mean, I got to tell you though, like it was a decent ride. It was a decent ride. I mean, and
you hated on that first episode so much.
Well, I hated on it because it seemed very lazy. It seemed, and I was like, if this is the shape of things to come, I'm not sure I'm down, right? Because I've seen these stories, and I'm not really interested in you moving the needle just a little bit and me hearing like a remix like that. I don't. That's not. Because it just seemed it seemed lazy and contrived to me, and I was just like, I'm not with that,
What I thought was funny is because the second episode was also doing that, and you love that one.
Why was that?
I don't know. You tell me, Black Travis.
Hey man, anytime I got some Chadwick that I wasn't expecting to get, it's and like I said, it was.
They were talking about.
It just showed you like how far you could go with white mediocrity, right? It's just like, man, if there was actually a Star-Lord there that actually did the damn job, look how much different things would be.
For sure.
And and so I just didn't expect Disney or Marvel to come that hard, and I don't know whether or not that was intentional or not. But that spoke volumes to someone who, as a professional, feels like he has to perform basically like T'Challa in order to get Star-Lord props.
Well, I mean, to use your analogy from earlier about how your friends who watch Shang-Chi, your Asian friends watch Shang-Chi and probably felt the same way you did watching Black Panther, right? Like, you got to imagine all the little girls that watched that first episode of What If and were just totally inspired because I'm sorry, Peggy did the job way better than Steve in that episode. She did the job. She was amazing.
Peggy showed that steroids are cool. And
well,
Steve
in Steve's defense, right? His greatest superpower is that he knows right from wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? That his moral compass is dope.
But why do you
think his
loves,
power?
Why do you think he loves Peggy? Because that's hers too.
Because she's dope.
Yeah.
You know, and when someone who's dope, like, you know, game recognizes game. All I'm saying is that, you know, Peggy was awesome before she took it. And what and Steve's, you know, moral compass and his values is what was super before he took the drug. So there was nothing about him that was, you know, an agent or any of those things that Peggy was when she took the super serum.
That's why she was even better.
I agree with you. I'm not saying she wasn't better.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Still can't believe
but her moral compass.
Yeah. But I will say this about the shows, like as they kept going on, I noticed that like I stopped caring as much about the remixed versions of the characters, like the variants basically is what they are, right? I stopped caring as much about this individual variants of each story after the T'Challa Star-Lord one. Like I really like Peggy and T'Challa Star-Lord. I was emotionally invested in those two characters. I think each time it kept going after that, it got a little less for me. Like I love the Doctor Strange episode because of how dark that got, but I was a little numb to feeling for that character in the same way that I was for the first two. And then it just kept going. Like I was numb to feeling bad for Hank Pym.
The trick is over,
bit,
right?
You know?
It's like, oh,
right.
I've seen the remix.
It's back to what you were saying, Travis, is that you're just remixing it every time. And so like, it's not to say I don't love those episodes. I love the dark ones, especially. I love the Doctor Strange one. I love the Hank Pym one. And I love the zombies one because they're so dark. I only mildly liked the Killmonger one because like that was easily the darkest episode that we got at the time. But at the same time, it didn't hit me as hard as his character did in Black Panther. Like I just, you know, because he was just surrounded by a bunch of white people that didn't understand him, period. You know, like
for you know, the strength of What Ifs, even in the comic books for me, were this was the conversation that you'd have with your nerd friends, right? And when you would clash your toys together, you would then wax philosophical about how that couldn't happen because of this and that couldn't happen because of that. Right. I used to love that, you know, just nerding it up that way. And you lose that sometimes when you're doing these movies and, you know, that have all these far reaching consequences and all this other kind of stuff. You go, you know, and you have this conversation with your nerd friends all the time when you say, man, the Hulk could just walk up to someone and just like thump them right on the head and they die. You know, it's just, come on. Right. And so I really love the fact that they embrace that whole thing where it's like, nah, Hank Pym decided to wreck people. They get wrecked.
It would be bad.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You did.
Or likewise, if Ant-Man and the Wasp did too in the other episode.
Right. So that's at least the power of that is you get to nerd out. And so once I started looking at this show that way, it became a little bit easier to enjoy because, you know, it's not real. But it's real enough.
It's a vest. I mean,
right?
we'll probably never get wasp exploding out of someone's body.
We'll never get the Thanos maneuver,
right? Like,
yeah,
but at least those characters were authentic in and of themselves. And let me tell you, as a personal indulgence, I, in my soul, loved everything that Doctor Strange was in this entire run of this show.
I mean, he was so amazing in this episode. Yeah,
I am so, like, you don't understand, my whole life, like, wizards are my thing, right? And whenever Doctor Strange shows you why he has the Eye of Agamotto, why he is the Sorcerer Supreme, why the Ancient One said he is the best of us, dude, like when he was mixing it up, with
Ultron.
Yes, it was and let me also say that was Ultron. Damn it.
I want it. Okay. You went two different directions there. On one side, I'm like, I love what you're saying, and then on the other side, you just kicked me in the nuts for a second. So let's stick to the good part, which is the Doctor Strange stuff. I loved it so much because Ultron looked at him halfway through the battle and said, it's you. I just have to take out you, and then the rest of them are done. Because he couldn't understand why. He couldn't understand with the power of the Infinity Gauntlet why he was having so much problems with these people. And I really love that he acknowledged that. And so Doctor Strange pulled all the cool tricks out of his bag in this one. And I'm really happy because, like, originally when IMDb was listing these, I told Travis, I think this is a Doctor Strange episode, and it wasn't exactly a Doctor Strange episode, but it still was. It was.
Yeah, it was.
He carried the weight more than everybody else.
It's like Infinity War. He is the fighter in that movie.
Yeah, he does all the heavy lifting for sure. But Viva Las Vegas is still my favorite thing that happened in this episode. Now, I do want to go back to the second thing that Travis was saying. He said that was Ultron. Now, this is I actually had a question for you guys earlier. But I really liked how Travis was pointing out about the banging the toys together, and he like, my question to you guys was, as nerdy or unnerdy as you might be regarding the Infinity Stones and Ultron, here's my question: if you were Ultron in that situation, how would you have defeated the Guardians?
I mean, time stone, pause time, erase them from reality.
Thank you. Right? Thank you. I get so annoyed, and this is not just a problem with Ultron. This is not just a problem with Thanos. This is not just a problem with the movies. This is a problem all the time in the Infinity Gauntlet. They always forget about the freaking time stone and the reality stone, and they just lean heavy on the other four. And it's so weird to me. It's like, what are you doing? You could have just paused time and turned them into butterflies, and then you're just done. But, like, I get it. That's not how the show needs to end, right? Like, I understand.
Yeah, I mean,
well, okay.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So one of the intellectual properties I had to work on professionally is Matrix. Now, Neo was the anomaly. And he was flying because he thought it was cool. Right? When things would happen where he would get vexed or something like that, it's not because he didn't have the power. It's because he didn't think of it.
He didn't think of it, right? Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So how that applies here. You're this super powered person, like super duper powered person. First of all, these people that you're up against seem to have leveled up to the point where they're a threat to you now. So you're boxing at your same class, right? That's a lot of things to account for. in addition to that, if you're walking around with all the Infinity Stones, you already think you're cock and walk, right? So I think in combination of just not thinking of something and thinking that you're too cool for the room would allow you to slip up. It really would.
Yeah, I get that, except that he's a freaking robot.
Yeah, that's where I lose you. He is like, if this then that.
Travis, I think your audio cut out. Sorry, I'm not sure.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, for a second. Well, it looked like he was still talking.
Mm.
But yes, I don't know if you were answering that question because I couldn't hear you on that last part.
No, well, no, I was okay. Go ahead.
No, but like that's the question I'm having is like, what's like you got to think about like already he's the amount of computations he's able to process with before he has all of the Infinity Stones, right? Like if you remember in Age of Ultron, that guy goes on the internet for about 10 seconds and before realizing that humanity's got to go. Like
yeah.
that's how fast he got to that conclusion. And I don't know that he's necessarily wrong with that conclusion either. You spend 5 minutes on the internet, and yeah, you could definitely come to that conclusion. I get that. But yeah, I just felt like
the whole battle's at 12, man. The whole battle's at 12. It's not at 10. It's not at 11. It's at 12. This whole battle is at 12.
Yeah.
And if you think about your boy Sorcerer Supreme, I don't think that armor was just armor. That's the haste spell. That's all kinds of different things. He's sure. Like, you got to go against the great goddamn here. We got to be ready. And I'm buffing everyone, right? And so that's why I'm saying, like, when you're at that level, because they have to be. I mean, the Watcher said, "This is the squad."
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just
I think he was at his level.
I like putting a lot of faith in whatever protection spells Doctor Strange put on those people because
they're as powerful as the writer needs them to be.
Yeah, exactly. Because I felt like Ultron was a little slow on certain things, but like it did make for some really cool visuals for sure. So I'm not going to hate on that. But yes, I did feel like for him to get taken out by the arrow with Arnim Zola, like obviously there's some convenience.
That was the stretch. Yeah, that was the stretch for me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that it was classy.
It's comic booky.
Come on. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yes, I will agree with you, Ian. I mean, and Travis, like we're gonna give all the credit to Doctor Strange for this episode. We're gonna say that Doctor Strange is the reason that Ultron didn't get to live up to his full potential, and I'm fine with that.
MVP.
And that way, I don't have to be angry at Ultron.
Well, he's the only one with the movie coming out.
Yes, exactly. So he was great. What was that?
I mean, does that like? Doesn't that make you like wig out? Like, because the first Doctor Strange, he's just learning, and when you saw him in the subsequent like Avengers movies and all that other kind of stuff, he just kept getting more ill and more ill and more ill, right? I mean, I'm just like, I can't even conceive how wicked he's got to be in this next movie.
Do you think we're getting a Evil Strange in that movie?
Well, I don't even know if we can. We can't call him Evil Strange. I don't think he's evil.
Dark Strange sounds weird.
I mean, he's strange. He's Strange Supreme. That's his title. Do we think so? By what movie do you mean Spider-Man or do you mean Doctor Strange?
Multiverse of Madness.
Well, okay. I don't know whether. I said this.
Sorry, I've heard Wanda is the villain of Multiverse of Madness. That's what I've heard, and possibly Nightmare also. Those are the rumors.
That sounds really cool. As an aside,
Misguided Strange.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. And I think I sent you this on Messenger. That's not Strange.
You mean in Spider-Man? Thank you. Yeah, I
It's
agree.
not him.
I need it to not be him, because
and the reason I say that, Benedict is a really good actor. He's a really good actor, and there is a layer of cheese that is on that Doctor Strange in that trailer that I just don't buy.
Yeah,
It is
what's up with him
somebody
wearing a
acting
sweater
like
under the
Strange.
cape?
See,
He's wearing a sweatshirt. He's wearing a sweatshirt under the cape, the cloak of
ain't having
location.
it.
It's
Ain't
cold. Why is it cold?
Because there's a hole in the roof from the Hulk.
Why can't Doctor Strange fix that?
It costs money.
It costs money. He's Doctor Strange.
You think he has homeowners insurance?
He's Doctor Strange, and that is that place, the Sanctum Sanctorum, is the nexus to all universes and dimensions that he has to protect. You think a hole?
Have you seen the prices
ceiling,
of construction right now?
Raw materials. Have to do construction. He could do a warning spell. That's what I'm saying. Like, I agree 100% with Travis that, like, I need that movie to show me that there's something up with that Doctor Strange. It can be the real one. It can be the real one if he's like altered somehow, like, and he's under the influence of something or whatever. That's fine. But it can't be regular Doctor Strange. It just can't be.
The rumors I was seeing is that Shuma Gorath is one of the villains in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we got a bunch of Shuma this season. I think
that's what I'm getting at. Like, thinking that Shuma Gorath is kind of tied to Doctor Strange now in terms of, like, they're one and the same almost.
Well, that's Strange, yes. Yeah,
yes,
that one. Yeah.
I have very high hopes that Strange is going to be that movie.
By the way, and I know I don't expect you have a picture of this in this moment, but did anybody else catch that awesome moment where Strange just blasts giant Ultron with the Shuma tentacles, and they go right by Peggy, and she just looks at them like, no. What? Oh, I know what that is. Like, like, that's the thing. She spent whoever knows how long defeating. I just thought that was cool that she had that knowing look when those passed by. I would very much like if this show does nothing else to impact the larger MCU, I would like to know that this show is what introduced the audiences to Shuma Gorath, so that we can better accept that, like, when we see it. Yeah, because it's gonna be a thing when he shows up. He's gonna be a lot. That's a big pill to swallow. Is that? So we'll see. I do have another question. I mean, unless you guys got anything else specifically about this show,
this show
about this show specifically.
I have two little nitpicks.
Okay.
When the Watcher comes and gets Star-Lord, he calls him Star-Lord T'Challa. Like, I feel like you just pick one, right?
No. Star-Lord is his title, and T'Challa is his name.
That was his name.
It's a little weird.
It's not weird.
It's a little weird. He didn't call anyone else by their title and their name. Captain Carter, or Captain Peggy or whatever.
That's the title and a name.
But he didn't call her that. He just called her Peggy, right?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Other little bit, I'll sidestep that one.
Yeah, you better sidestep that one.
You get a quick little shot of Shuri and
Pepper
invading Wakanda, and, like, Pepper's in a dress. Like, come on.
Was she in a dress or a skirt?
She's in a dress. Like, you're invading a planned invasion. You can't give her, like, the rescue armor or some cool what ify armor situation.
Well, she wouldn't have access to that because I think Killmonger or the U.S. government has confiscated all the armor.
Dora Milaje didn't have a pair of pants they could loan her. Like,
I mean,
hey man, she's trying to get it done.
Like,
right? She's not trying to be a fashion model. She's trying to get it done.
I saw Ron Howard's daughter. Run from a T-Rex in a dress and high heels.
Boom.
Sure.
Boom.
Sure.
Girls get it done, man. They get it done.
Yo, like I said, I didn't know what to expect from this series.
Mm-hmm.
I was really impressed by the art direction. I know it takes time to make animation this quality. Severely appreciative of that.
Yeah, and that's why I'm okay with us missing out on that 10th episode.
Yeah,
it didn't
I
hurt.
appreciated. Yeah, I appreciated the fact that they didn't get everyone, but they got mostly everyone in to voice their characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I kind of thought, like, as much as that was a gripe for me going in, like every time I was nitpicking every time they didn't do it. By the end of it, I was actually totally okay with all the ones they didn't get.
Yeah,
because the replacement actors are pretty damn good. Like,
yeah. I appreciate how much they tied this in. Even in the multiverse, they gave it its own sort of flavor. And I don't know if I could ask for anything more from a show based on this concept.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm happy that they were able to do this, because it shows that they can take some risk, although it's encapsulated. But why not try something new stuff? And it was cool. I dug it.
Do you need this show to tie back to the main timeline? Do you need it to? Or could you be okay with this going for like 5 years, just doing crazy one-offs that are based on the stuff that we see in the main timeline?
Well, then it's based on what we talked about previously, about the fact that this whole MCU could start suffering under the weight of its own canon.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the dalliances into let's check it out. Let's because if you can tell a cool tight story in half an hour, say Lavi.
Yeah. I'm not complaining at all. Like I think when we started doing this show, after we'd done WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and even like MODOK, it was just like, man, this is exhausting. This is a lot. This is a lot of content, man. This is a lot.
Back to back,
I'm not mad, but like I was like a little tired, and then this show kind of perked me up, because I was like, it can just be its own thing. If they choose to do little nods here and there, like or little things, like if we do get Shuma Gorath, we'll be like, oh, we know where we saw him first. Like little things like that. If Peggy manages to find a way to come into the main timeline for a minute, cool. Like that's fine. But like, absolutely. I don't need it. I don't need it ever. Like, it's fine.
Yep.
Like,
you're happy with these appearances.
I'm happy with this show just being what it is, because that's all this show is just like really compact storytelling in 30 minutes. And I promise you, any episode of What If has a better story told than Venom 2. than Venom 2.
I don't know about that Party Thor episode.
That Party Thor episode is legit, man. And the fact that he gets paid off so well in this episode. He got paid off. Like that whole joke paid off so well.
That episode, I remember actually sending you messages about that episode, Dennis, and being like, man, and I love Chris Hemsworth. And I think that, God, I just didn't know he was such a comedic actor.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know. And I think I like comedic Thor. I really do. Right? And despite me sort of being, feeling some kind of way about him as straight comedy, like it's grown on me. Like it really has. And so this was just another extension of that. So I wasn't mad at at how Thor was portrayed or anything. I just felt like that story didn't take me anywhere.
Yeah, because that story was part one of three, connected episodes. And so if you consider it the act one, you're just like, okay, what's going on? But but now that you have act two and act three, like, I'm very happy that I got that episode. For me, like, the standouts were Doctor Strange, Party Thor, which I have now redubbed Vegas Thor because that man is the champion of Las Vegas. And as a person who is a Las Vegas native, I've never had a superhero to look up to that says that's the superhero of Las Vegas. I have.
They got him and the Raiders.
No, I just got him. Just
saying.
But yeah, and so I loved everything about him. But then also I really love Peggy because I love that Peggy got her own little her own little epilogue at the end of this episode.
Yes,
and I do know that the producers want to have regular check-ins throughout the life of the What If show, where Peggy is one of the touchstones where they revisit every now and then. She's like they called her an anchor point. They want to check in with her throughout. And so I'm very excited to get past the point where Peggy's beyond Endgame, because like we're literally every time we're checking in with her, it's another Captain America movie we're watching. Right?
She's slowly dying in front of us.
And special shout out to Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah,
like
he was great.
Him as the Watcher.
I loved him. Perfect. So much, and I wouldn't mind if he shows up at some, I would love if we finally get to the point where we got like Galactus in the MCU showing up to eat the planet Earth, and all the superheroes are gathered together trying to figure out what to do, and then somebody just looks and says, "What is that?" And it's just Jeffrey Wright in or CG Uatu.
Well, that goes back to the whole thing. The House of Cards Travis was talking about, right? Like whatever multi-level threat that the movies take on next, right? The question comes up is like, all right, where's the Watcher? Like what's he doing? If something gets that bad, when does he step in? Like that thought will just kind of be in the back of your head. For better or for worse.
That just goes to show you how dumb the stakes were in Shang-Chi. There was no Watcher there.
Watching it. Shang-Chi had it.
No.
I have a question for the room, since I know we're almost at time, so I wanted to get this in because so Eternals, is that X-Men bait? Is that mutant bait or not?
I don't know. I mean, the deviants could be a backdoor way of getting them in there. It might be. It could be. I don't know if I just have like the slightly less, need for everything to like connect all the time now because House of Cards and Infinity War, post Infinity War world. So I don't mind if it's a separate thing. But it could be. I could see that. Ricky, what do you think?
I think I don't think they're gonna be in Eternals, but I think they'll be in Strange. If Strange is dealing with multiverse stuff, that's a good opportunity to peek into another universe cleanly and play with some X-Men. Before you introduce them into the MCU.
I think Doctor Strange and the Fantastic Four are two other backdoor opportunities for the X-Men, because once you get the Fantastic Four, like it depends on how is it going to be an origin story, or are they just going to show up and they're like, oh, we've been trapped in another dimension for like 20 years or something like that, who knows, so, oh, but here we brought some mutants too, what, who knows?
Yeah.
I know Marvel wants to do a Wolverine show, and I've heard that's in development too. And it's like, is he in this universe, or is he in Venom's stupid universe? Or like, you know what I mean? Because I think Wolverine complicates things more than Uatu does, because you gotta wonder, where was he? But I did see this fun TikTok the other day that I don't know if I sent it to you, Travis. I thought I did, but like it was this guy basically just championing the idea of Marvel introducing retcons, because they've already forced movie audiences to accept several comic book tropes already, right? They've already made death less consequential than it used to be.
Yes.
It depends, right? Like we definitely I think there's a safe assumption that Robert Downey Jr. is probably not coming back, but I don't think that's 100% assumption.
Right.
Money.
Money.
Yeah, exactly. Money solves everything. So death is not really the thing that's a problem anymore. And then also we've learned that the other trope that you can do when you're ever in a jam for your story is now you got time travel. You just time travel to fix the problem you have, right?
Yes.
And as long as it doesn't contradict with the TVA and the what is it? The perfect what do they call the timeline? The
sacred timeline.
The sacred timeline. As long as it doesn't interfere with the sacred timeline, you can use time travel to fix whatever problems you have, right? So if two of the biggest tropes that we as comic book readers had to accept is that death and time travel are always on the board, or resurrection rather, then a retcon, I mean, it ain't that bad.
Just I don't know. It's probably a bridge too far.
But we say that now, but it all depends on how it's written, right?
Sure.
Like there's some retcons that are written really well.
Give me an example.
I liked the last Secret Wars that they did. The Jonathan Hickman.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That was a nice way, and really the only end result of that whole giant battle world / story was they figured out a way to bring Miles Morales into the main universe. Like that was all they wanted.
All they needed to do.
They wanted to get Miles Morales into the 616, and they did it. And no one's mad. No one's mad that Miles Morales is now part of the universe because he was retconned into it. You know what I mean?
That's what they should be doing it over at Sony live action.
Exactly. So I'm saying it depends on the scale of the retcon, right? Like if you can find a way to do it that makes it feel like, like, did you like the Star Trek retcon? Like the reboot of Star Trek, how it's still kind of tied to the main Star Trek universe?
I dug it.
There you go. There's another example. There's another example. Like if you liked it that way, then there's a way that they can
also
figure out.
Chris Hemsworth.
Indeed.
Yes. For a minute. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like let's not gatekeep. If we love seeing all our comic stuff brought onto the big screen, let's not draw the line in the sand at retconning and just say like, okay, it's on the table, but you better do it responsibly.
So you're cool with them retconning Venom into the MCU then? That's what I'm hearing.
I don't have to be cool with that. I don't have to be cool with that. And I don't think that's what happened.
Well done, Ricky.
I think they retconned Spider-Man into Venom. I don't think they're ever retconning Venom into the MCU.
It's like you can only go to your girlfriend's house, but you can't invite your girlfriend over, like type of situation. Like,
yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Venom doesn't get to meet the parents ever. It's not.
It's probably a wise decision.
I'm pretty sure Rick James wrote songs about Venom.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what happened.
Yes.
And then Ian had one more thing to say really quick. When Jeffrey Wright shows up as the Watcher, I want him to have the same hair he did in Shaft. I don't even remember that. I don't remember.
He was awesome in Shaft. He was awesome.
I really don't remember that. It's been a while since I watched that one. But yeah, Nick Fury's in that though.
Mm-hmm.
So,
in Shaft? Oh yeah, he's Shaft.
But yeah, you're right, Travis. You pointed it out. Like we are running short on time, and I know, Travis, I want to keep this going forever and ever because you don't have time to join us on the soapbox tonight. So we'll be there on the soapbox for a little bit, but it's gonna. Oh God, there he is.
$40
Ricky.
Fine.
Thanks for showing us. Thanks for ending the night with Jeffrey Wright in Shaft.
I want Jeffrey Rush.
There he is.
In Jeffrey Rush Shaft.
Yes. Oh, I did want to ask really quick before we sign off, because I did have one last question. You guys have done a pretty good job of answering all the other ones, but Since What If's over and we don't have another new show until next year, which is pretty crazy. We do have a few more Marvel projects coming, though. I'm just curious, which upcoming MCU project excites you guys the most? I thought that would be a faster answer for both of you.
The hype is with Spider-Man, right? Like, you almost have to kick it out of this. I feel like. I see Travis shaking his head.
I think the whole Spider-Man movie's been freaking ruined. Like, I think the amount of discussion that we've had about like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield being in there. Okay, cool. For you? Like, it's just like I feel like spoilers have gotten too far with that movie. Like, there's too far. So I'll enjoy it when I see it, but I'm not excited to see those things because I've already been told they're going to happen for like 9-10 months. You know.
I'm gonna say Thor because I like Natalie Portman. I dig Jane Foster. I think it's cool. We're gonna get a Jane Foster Thor, right? You know, another lady superhero in the mix. Can't go wrong with that.
What about Travis? What are you thinking?
See, it's for me. It's either Eternals or Doctor Strange, and I say that because I feel like both of them are going to have a profound effect on what happens after this.
They're moving the story forward.
I agree.
Yeah, they're moving everything forward.
You know why? You know why I give it to Doctor Strange though?
Because he's dope.
Not just that. Sam freaking Raimi.
That's very true. But man, Chloe's out, man.
Like, not knocking her. It's just like, man.
She is the reigning champion.
Yeah, but think about it. Like think about it this way. And this is me probably knocking on Sony a little bit, but like what Sam Raimi pulled off with Sony, like was pretty decent. It was pretty good. At the time, it was mind-blowing, right? But that was collaborating with Sony. Think about what Sam Raimi could do collaborating with Marvel. Like,
it's not just that. Sam has a film style or directing style.
Yeah.
That is zany.
Yeah.
Is possibly the best way I could describe it. You take that, mix that with the Marvel budget, which is insane. Mix it with, sort of the Marvel sort of creative direction, which is also insane.
And mix it with the stakes.
Mix it with the stakes in this.
What's his
Doctor Strange. Like, dude, like, yeah, I feel like this is gonna be Sam's like this is his level up, right? Yeah. And I'm excited about what that could look like. I think it would just be absolutely crazy.
Yeah. What's his last movie? Oz the Great and Powerful? Oh, yeah, it is.
That might be the last one he directed. Yeah,
he's done some TV.
He's done a lot of producing. He did a lot of producing. He revisited old stuff, like he did the Ash and the Evil Dead TV show and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's been a while, and I think people want to see what a Sam Raimi who's been like, waiting in the wings for a long time can do when he comes back out. I think
how much
the title alone, dude.
Yeah,
the title alone,
exactly.
Right? Multiverse of Madness. Like, I like every time I think about, Dead by Dawn, like you've got Sam Raimi giving you wild shit. You know what I'm saying? He's got to. He's got to. It's the multiverse of madness, my man.
Yeah.
Like, come on. It's
like, that's the thing. He had, he didn't.
Yes.
He left the Spider-Man stuff because they were trying to force the Spider-Man 4. Like, they ended at 3.
No, he left because they wanted to do a Spider-Man 4.
Yes.
After they forced him to do a Spider-Man 3 that was not the movie he wanted to do.
Exactly. But
that wasn't the movie he wanted to do. He's not signing up with Marvel to do a movie he doesn't want to do right now. That's not.
There's a lot of decisions that are made before you come into a movie like that. So
and that's fine if that's and I think a lot of the directors signing up with Marvel understand that. But they're still giving creative freedom to do certain things, you know what I mean? Like, and depending on how successful they are with that freedom, they get more freedom down the line, right? Like
not necessarily.
Taika Waititi is getting a lot of freedom to come back and do a fourth movie for a movie that was for a franchise that was only ever going to have 3 movies.
This is the reason, though, the Scott Derrickson left, because he wanted to make
his
Doctor Strange movie.
But Scott Derrickson didn't make the most out of that movie, right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like he didn't mesh with the vision that they had going in. And so I'm not saying every director does either. Like, but like look at Peyton Reed, dude. That man's holding down the Ant-Man franchise. And like and he's perfectly happy there and he's killing it. So I think I'm not counting Sam Raimi out before it's even come out. Like I'm rooting for him. I think that movie's going to be awesome. I think that movie's going to be at least better than the first one.
Oh yeah,
at least better than the first one. Even the episodes of What If have been better than the first Doctor Strange movie. So they have been. All the Doctor Strange episodes have been better than the Doctor Strange movie.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying. I don't mean every episode of What If. I'm not saying Party Thor is better than Doctor Strange. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But in any case,
thank you.
I do feel like if you need help with that little nudge deciding between Eternals and Doctor Strange, I say go with Doctor Strange. But at the same time, I say I hope so badly that Eternals succeeds. I really need that movie to succeed because I don't want to see it be the Inhumans all over again. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
All right. I think we do have to wrap this up because we've gone a little long, but I just wanted to give, I just wanted to stretch our conversation with Travis a little bit longer anyways. So I'm glad I got that out of you. We will definitely have you back at some point when you have more free time. And we'll definitely we'll find an excuse to do this that doesn't have to do with the show at all, because we got a lot of time between now and the new year, so we can nerd out on a Friday just for the hell of it. But with that all set, Travis, if you want, you can let our audience know one last time where they can find you.
The Geekiest Network, my friends. I do a show every Saturday called Techn00bians, Techn00bians.com, where we keep it real.
Nice. And then technical. And then you can, if you're not already, you can follow us on DenX Media, pretty much everywhere, all social media, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. We're there everywhere. Right now, you'll probably find me doing a lot of Inktober stuff on Instagram. That's just what I got going on right now. But I've got some other stuff in the works that you'll see soon on several of the outlets that we do. And then on top of that, you can also find a collection of everything that DenX Media puts out at patreon.com/DenX Media, which is also where you can find the Soapbox Friday nights after this show ends. So Ricky and I will be heading over there to chat for a little bit with our patrons and finish the night off. Yeah. So be sure, I know this is normally where Frank would tell everybody to feel free to follow us there, but also if you liked what you saw here, smash that like button. 10,000 Mjolnirs smashed Ultron in the face.
Oh, that's a very frank answer right there. That was good.
I know. That was good.
Should we remind the folks about next week?
Oh, and then, thank you, Ricky. And we're actually going to be taking one of the very few weeks off that we've done this entire year next week. So don't tune into us next week at 8:00 because we're going to take a break just to rest and from all the Marvel content that we've had all year long. But we will be back October 22nd and probably a lot of times after that. There's a rumored Werewolf by Night or some sort of Disney Halloween special coming out soon in the next few weeks. So we'll see when that comes out. But a time to end the show. And thank you, Ian, for reminding everybody to just smash that like button. And I think that's it. Thanks for watching Den Excelsior. See you next time, true believers. Enough said.